I told you so. Private sales are absolutely incredible, and it's the most profitable way to get involved in the crypto market. And it's because of the psychology behind it. Imagine thousands of people buying into a token before it launches, and many people end up missing out due to lack of funds. Maybe they missed it because they just saw it right before the private sale was ending. Whatever number of reasons there are, many people have missed out on private sale of MintHub. As soon as MintHub launches, the psychology is that the people that missed it end up going in big as soon as it launches. And that's exactly what happened. The results in the first 24 hours alone are absolutely phenomenal, and it's much higher than what I predicted. I always give small predictions. And so what I'm going to do now is I'll pop up on the screen over here some of the results Cryptonaire network members have been making from MintHub. United is launching, and right now there's going to be something interesting. But before I share that with you, I'm going to share a shocking statement about private sales. Every single private sale in the history of private sales that I've gotten involved in, including MintHub, including United, have done it completely wrong. They have worked backwards, as a matter of fact, every single one of them. I'm going to explain. Private sales, what they do is first they create the tokenomics. They will say, this is the price, this is the max supply, and this is what your discount is for getting into the private sale, and then this is what your lock-in period is for the private sale, right? So first they set the tokenomics, then they do the private sale, then they launch publicly. 1, 2, 3. But that's actually the wrong way to do it. 2, 1, 3 is the correct order. First the private sale, then the tokenomics, then the launch. And I'll explain it to you in a simple way as possible. Imagine there are 2 private sales taking place. The purpose of the private sale, or the purpose of the token, I should say, is to make sure that the people that get into the private sale make as big of a profit as possible. So that's to take the person from point A to point B. Point B being to make profit. Make sense? In front of token 1 and token 2 is a mystery box. In the mystery box is the resources that person has or that token has available to make sure to go from point A to point B. Now, what does every single token do when they do a private sale? Before they have access to this mystery box, before they can open it, they create their plan. They set in motion a plan, and the rule is when you set in motion the plan and you have it in writing, you can't change the plan. Whereas, wouldn't it be more profitable, wouldn't it be more efficient, and wouldn't it be better if the private sale is over, then the mystery box is opened? You can see how many holders there will be. You can see how much money came in. You can see what, based on the resources available, what strategies you can use and implement, and what the best tokenomics are going to be to make things shoot up. Because based on the number of holders, based on the amount of money that comes in, the liquidity is going to be different. The tokenomics is going to be completely different. And when I was speaking to every single blockchain expert that I know, and I was calling them up on my day off several days ago, talking about I'm going to set up a token, the discussion went something along the lines of, I'm going to do a private sale. After the private sale, I wish I knew the numbers so I can set the tokenomics. Why is everyone screwing up and putting the numbers in first, the tokenomics first? And they all came to the same conclusion. If we don't tell them then they don't buy. And that was the only reasoning behind creating the tokenomics, mapping out a strategy before they even know what's going on. So for the sake of the relationship that we have, we've got a very long-term relationship. You've seen the results happening in front of you. The trust factor is all there. I'm going to share with you all the details about this next token. It's going to be called the Final Stand. And the Final Stand is a token that I am personally responsible for. Cryptonaire Network is going to launch this token. Now, as far as responsibility goes, timing is all on you. I cannot promise you what time you get in and what time you get out, but I'm going to set some rules over here and I'm going to share some very interesting information. Over the past many years, and I'm going to read off this sheet of paper over here from a previous announcement, I have gotten involved in many private sales. And I understand what works and why it works. So I'm going to pop up the numbers for private sale number 1. You see over there, the entry date is August 2017, price 0.00031. The private sale ended August 2017. Lock-in period was 30 days, and then everyone received their tokens. Exit date November 2017, and per $1,000 a return of $92,103. Now at the token distribution, the price dumped 97% because everybody received their tokens. Lock-in periods always have moments where there are large corrections. But I figured something out actually. I figured out a way to have a lock-in period where there is no correction. So I'm going to outline the details to you right now. Just a moment as I open this up. I personally believe, and I'm going to read this out from over here so I don't miss out on anything. I personally believe, it is my opinion, that this next private sale is going to do better for the Cryptonaire network community than MintHub and United combined. I believe it will do better for 3 reasons. Number 1, you have undeniable concrete proof that Cryptonaire network is legitimate, that I am real, and that in many cases, things work out even better than I say. Number 2, it will be the main focus for me personally for the next 310 days. And number 3, Cryptonaire network will personally launch this token. Excuse me. The Final Stand is going to be the last token for Cryptonaire network until MintHub, United Token, and TFS is fully distributed. That means there will be no more private sales until all 3 of these tokens have fully distributed all of their tokens. After the launch of TFS, we'll get to dates in just a moment. My prime focus for Cryptonaire network is going to be getting TFS, the Final Stand, to as high of a number as possible, advertising it to the community outside of Cryptonaire network, and getting it on the hot list for central exchanges. It's to get it into the big exchanges. The goal is going to be to reach $1 billion market cap with it. Now, I've been in the crypto market for an incredibly long time. I've invested into many private sales, and I've learned many things from each of these private sales. And one of the things that I've learned from another private sale 5 months later, sorry for the runny nose, guys, I have been overworking myself. I should have 2 handkerchiefs. One for the nose, one for the pocket. 5 months later was that next private sale that I got involved in. It was April 2018. I'm going to pop the numbers up over here. But what I'm going to share with you is something interesting that happened. On paper, I had $12 million in there, but I was only able to cash out $4 million because of the tokenomics they set. Had they known what number of holders they had and how much money was in and how much they can distribute and what liquidity they can put in, then that wouldn't have been the case. And I would have been able to cash out $12 million. And so this is the importance of doing the private sale first, then the tokenomics and the strategy, and then launching. Now, it is time for me to put all the skills generated, all the skills gained over the past 12 years to something. And that something is going to be the final stand. The private sale details are as follows, and it will only last 9 days. Now, the whole reason for getting into a private sale, by the way, is that you get in at a discounted rate than when it goes public. So I'm going to share what that discounted rate is. Whether the token goes for $1 and then you get in at 33 cents, or it's $0.1 and you get in at 0.033 cents, it doesn't make any difference to you. The ratio is important. The discount is important. So the private sale will only last 9 days. There's going to be 3 rounds. So each round is going to be 3 days. The first round is going to be the lowest price. The second round is going to go up 33.3%. And the third round is going to go up another 33.3%. And so between round 1 and the launch is going to go up by 99.9%. So it will double in price. Each one is going to be 3 days. I'm going to share the exact dates with you. And there is a bonus also, which we'll get to in just a moment. Now, I'm going to share with you the lock-in period. The lock-in period is absolutely, everyone should do this. The lock-in period is very simple. First, we have round 1 for the private sale. 3 days later, the price goes up by a third. 3 days later, the price goes up by another third. It goes up in total 99.9%. Then it goes public. 3 days after it goes public, the distribution begins. The distribution is simple. This is why there's going to be no correction whatsoever. The lock-in period is 1% of the tokens are distributed per day for 100 days. So that means the more spread out the distribution is, it's not about time, it's about the spread out. So even if somebody says 100 days from now you get 100% of your tokens, there's going to be a massive correction on that day. And it will dump the token almost completely because of the panic and everything that comes afterwards. But if the lock-in period is that 1% of the tokens you purchase in the private sale gets distributed on a daily basis, the correction is basically nothing. Because 1%, according to how much the chart's going up, especially in the beginning, it makes absolutely no difference. Nobody's going to want to sell it, and everyone's going to hold on to it. And even if everybody sells it, it only goes down by 1%. And that doesn't really make any difference to the market. So I really like that. And the bonus is that you're going to get whatever you purchased on the private sale, that exact number additionally. So if you've got $1,000 worth of tokens, that gets distributed, those tokens get distributed across 100 days. Let's just say you got 1,000 tokens. And your bonus is an extra 1,000 tokens, which will be distributed the next 200 days. So for 300 days, every single time you go on your phone, you're going to see TFS, the final stand, distributing more and more tokens into your phone, or into your Phantom app, I should say. Every single day, automatically on the blockchain, you wake up, you'll see it, and there's more in there. And that is how things are going to go. Now, the tokenomics are going to be discussed before the launch, and it will also appear in your dashboard before the launch. So you will actually know on each round exactly how many tokens you have of TFS. I will give you an example right now on how the strategy will change completely depending on the private sale. Let's just say that there is 1,000 holders, but it turns out that 2% of the holders have 90% of the supply because they've purchased very, very big in comparison to everyone else. The tokenomics would be completely different than if it was spread out across those 1,000 buyers. Let's say that there are 20,000 buyers. And let's say that there's $20 million worth of money to play with to get in, to push this out. The strategies are going to be vastly different than somebody who raises just $2 million. So depending on the private sale, the exact number, getting you from point A to point B, the strategy will be completely different. So let's go back to the shocking statement. The shocking statement that I have is that the final stand is the only private sale in the existence of the crypto market that's going to do it right. The others are all wrong. The final stand is correct. The final stand is correct because it first opens the mystery box. Mystery box meaning this is how many holders there's going to be, and this is how much income there is for it, and this is what liquidity you can place in. And now the final stand makes its strategy to go from point A to point B. Everyone else, every other private sale, have built a strategy on blind faith, not knowing what's going to happen in the private sale, not knowing what will happen. And it still did well, but it only did well because of the psychology of it. So just because everyone is doing something doesn't mean it's correct. And when I spoke to all of the blockchain developers, they all said the same thing. They said, Rahman, the only reason we set the tokenomics first before a private sale is because otherwise people won't buy. You have to explain it to them, and nobody wants to know the technicalities. We have that relationship where you know what I say, I take care of. Now, there is something I want to mention to you, which is very important. And that is that for the very first time in the history of Cryptonaire network, I am going to tell you to do something that I personally will not do. I cannot do it because it's against the best interest of you. On the launch, Cryptonaire network will own 0% of the market supply, 0% of the tokens, and I will personally never buy the final stand, whether it's on the public market or on a private sale, period. That's because I want you making money. If I end up doing it, then it would literally be considered insider trading. It's legal in the crypto market. It's not illegal. It's illegal in the public market, outside of the crypto market. It's legal in the crypto market, but it's still not good because then I would end up not me personally, but people end up buying their own tokens, making crazy announcements to get it pumping, and then they'll sell it. And so I don't want to be involved in any of that. This is for you. This is for your legacy. This is for your peace. This is for you to get the best results possible. So take action on the final stand. And during these 300 days, after when it launches, my role as the CEO of Cryptonaire Network is simple. To the best of my ability is to pump the final stand to the moon. I'll tell you right now how I'm going to do it, and it includes many different ways. Number one, keeping you updated on everything on a daily basis. Number two, spending funds on advertising to push it, externally outside of the Cryptonaire Network community, that is. Number three, bringing in a community outside of Cryptonaire Network by creating a Telegram bot with a referral system to multiply the community and hype them. Number four, I will use my network to promote it. Number five, I will use my network to push it into big exchanges. During these 300 days, I will also focus intensely on the altcoin season and giving you signals on what I am doing. The membership platform, which will be upgraded in a massive way, and then potentially finding another private sale, but only after those 300 days. It's going to be a heavy task on my side. I will not pretend it's easy. I will not pretend it's simple. The aim is 20 times the private sale numbers of the final stand. So whatever the private sale is going to be, 20 times that number to come from outside of the Cryptonaire Network community. I believe that this is the tipping point. When that number hits, we can all relax. I can relax knowing full well that every single person who got involved in the final stand is doing an incredible return. And you can relax because you never, ever have to worry about money ever again in your life. And that's the task that I have. And I'm going to put everything into it. So that's what's next for Cryptonaire Network. There is a timer above. I'm going to share the dates with you right now because I shared the dates with Tech. So I'm going to have a look at the messages now. Round one for the final stand begins on Wednesday, 25th September. It will last for 3 days. Round two begins on Saturday, 28th September. Lasts for 3 days. Round three, Tuesday, October 1st. That's the final round. And it lasts for 3 days. Then, October 4th, there's going to be a 3-day timer. And then October 7th, it's going to launch. 3 days after that, October 10th, is the first distribution. So, that is what's happening. At the first distribution, which is October 10, 1% per day of what you've purchased gets distributed automatically. That will all be on the smart contract. You're able to add in your Solana wallet addresses already inside of the Cryptonaire Network dashboard. And that's what is going to be used for you to receive the final stand tokens. Make sure you take action on this one. There has been a lot of regrets from people who missed out on MintHub, then who missed out on MintHub as soon as it launched publicly, then who missed out on United Token on every single round, round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as it was doubling and doubling and doubling and doubling and doubling. And now you have the final stand that Cryptonaire Network, are personally doing. The Cryptonaire Network team are going to be doing it, and we're going to do it the correct way. And we're able to do it the correct way because of the relationship that we've built. Me and you, the relationship we've built, we're able to do it the correct way. Where I can say, guys, private sale first, tokenomics second, strategy is laid out based on that, and then it launches. So there's a 3-day gap where the strategy is going to be implemented based on the tokenomics, and everything will appear on the dashboard. That's it. Get prepared, take action. The commission structure is the same way. There is a PDF presentation on the final stand in the menu. It's plain, simple, with dates, with details, and that's all there is to it. This is Crypto Rahman signing out. This is the final stand. Make it work.